Welcome back to Cyber Sea of Galilee, DSMME, on this October 28th, the feast of two great saints, two apostles, Simon and Jude. You will notice fall is coming in and it's getting cooler, and pretty soon this rain will become snow. And so as we're kind of moving through October and we're thinking of winter to come, we can have great hope with the two saints that we have today. Why so? St. Jude, you probably know, is usually shown with a medallion with the face of Christ on it, because the tradition is that he cured the king of Edessa by showing him an image of Christ's face. Now that's pretty neat, because he, being an apostle, would have known Jesus personally. And so where did he get that image? Or it's kind of an interesting thing, but that is why he does show up with that medallion. And St. Jude also is patron of impossible cases. And why did the church give him that title? It's more, again, of legend and time that we just like to look to Jude, because it was another Jude, who we know as Judas Iscariot. And so if we realize he betrayed Christ, then we look to the real Jude and say, that much more must you be faithful to him. And so since you are, in my hopeless cases, you're going to help me out too. I just know you are. And then Simon, it was called the Zealot. And the Zealot was one of those people who kind of gravitated into a bit of a group, so to speak, and lived together and worked together. And what they really wanted to do was save the chosen people, the Jewish race, really, from the Romans. And so they had a bit of a hatred towards the government at that particular time. But again, when Simon the Zealot meets Christ, and Christ's message is to love one another, then Simon doesn't change his mind on perhaps objective truth. He's a thinker, and Christ was a thinker too. We know he overthrew the money changers' things in the temple, because they were certainly profaning his father's house. That was Christ. So here we come Simon, who's rough and ready to fight, and yet turns that fight more towards going out into a world that doesn't always accept them. A world when it's raining, right when the day that they were going to travel 20 miles. A world that's getting ready for bad weather and inclement conditions, etc. Because in season or out of season, we proclaim the name of Christ. And so I think it's a beautiful day to remember these two apostles and to really hold them up and to realize they are calling us to great holiness, that we will know the face of Christ in one another, certainly first of all in the Eucharist, and then in one another, and that we will also go out there with incredible zeal or fiery hearts to preach and teach the truth and to spread the divine fire on the world, so that we can become the great saints that God has called us to. So on this rainy day here in Ann Arbor, we ask you to join us on the Sea of Galilee as we definitely pray to these saints to become the saints we too are called to be. Stay in the Cyber Sea of Galilee with Mother Mary next to her Son.